Here on France 24, and recent visitors among you to Paris may have noticed a distinct lack of taxis on the roads. Angry drivers have been striking en masse to protest against what they call unfair competition from less regulated minicab services. Some people, though, claim that existing licensed taxis have an unfair advantage and current regulations limit competition and make services pricier for passengers. As ministers scratch their heads looking for a solution to the problem, our reporters James André and Noreddine Bezziou have been to find out for themselves just what's making taxi drivers so furious.
The Paris Ring Road, the périphérique, blocked by taxi drivers. This scene took place a week ago and caused massive traffic jams. They were protesting against new competition, minicab services who, according to them, don't play by the rules.
It's as if I was selling bread on a table in front of a baker shop without paying taxes or welfare charges. Unfair competition, that's what it is.
Today, a taxi license costs around 230,000 euros in Paris. Most taxi drivers have to borrow money before they start working. They also must follow training and apply state-defined rates. The minicab drivers have no license to pay, a situation deemed unfair by taxis like Hussein, who is still reimbursing his license.
At the end of the day, we are losing everything. I invested everything I had in my license. I have a daughter to raise. I get up at 4 a.m. every day to work. I mean, someone who chooses to become a taxi driver is someone who wants to work harder than most. So I think we should at least be left to work in peace.
The license grants taxis the right to cruise. That means load passengers right off the street. More and more minicab companies now work with smartphone apps. Until the 5th of February, French law forced minicabs to respect a 15-minute delay between the order and the moment when passengers actually boarded the vehicle, a rule since cancelled by France's highest jurisdiction.
Taking away the 15-minute delay means that these companies are now cruising digitally. Instead of raising his arm, the customer just presses a button on his smartphone, but in fact, it's exactly the same thing.
Nelson became a minicab driver a year ago. He invested in this luxury sedan, paid around 100 euros to get his company registered with the tourism board, and hit the road. He believes there's room for everyone.
If they don't agree, we can talk. But I don't think it's okay to actually physically fight over the issue, because that has happened. That I don't accept. Otherwise, we do the same job, and I think we need more cars here in Paris, especially since we don't all work the same shifts. I think we can all work together.
To order Nelson's minicab, the customer has to go through Allocab. The booking is made through internet or a smartphone app. It only takes a couple of minutes. Define the hour and destination, and the drivers reply with quotes. Of course, it's now possible to ask for a car straight away.
Of course, traditional taxi services will survive. Look at New York or London. There are still plenty of taxis there, despite the fact they have twice as many minicabs as we have in Paris. That proves that minicabs and taxis can work alongside, and if it works in other places, there's no reason why it cannot work here. In the face of this new competition, the Independent Taxi Driver Union wants the law to be enforced, especially regarding the usage of bus lanes, taxi stations and cruising for customers. According to the union's president, with the right tools, the trade has nothing to worry about.
What's going on in Paris? Where's our smartphone app? Our union has been asking the Paris Town Hall to create it for 2 years. It's the city's responsibility because they already manage the taxi stations. We want a free app for all the 18,000 Parisian taxis so that our customers, the tourists and the people who live here can use it. Then we'll see who gets the business.
For the time being, taxi protests have stopped. The government has suspended new minicab authorizations and a mediation has started to redefine the rules of the game.
Okay, well, let's move on now to sports news with a look ahead to